Hi guys, welcome to Manhood Explained. My name is Camille. Today is 1st of April 2020 and welcome to live number 96. Today we're going to talk about the opposite of Paper Tiger that we were talking about yesterday. So we're going to talk about something fascinating that I discovered basically yesterday, which is called basically to being a gentle giant. Listen, it's gonna take me 10 minutes, maybe a little bit less as it usually does, so just to let you know how much time you may expect this whole thing to take. And as usual, it's 10 minutes to make changes in your life that may be really important, so I would advise to stay, but your choice, bro. As I said, I think yesterday I stumbled upon a very interesting video about a diver who is basically spent, I think, his last 40 years diving in, in the oceans and so on, and he concentrated on sharks. And 20 years ago, he was able to kind of domesticate one of the sharks. And it all started kind of crazy, and I'll link this whole video so you could watch it because it's really worth watching. But the outcome of this whole thing that he discovered is that he was able to kind of befriend one of the sharks, and that's a female shark, beautiful creature, huge, and he was able to or he is still able to be in such a deep kind of friendship-ish relationship, if you can call it that, with an animal, that he's basically petting her like a dog. And for the last 20 years, she was swimming with him. Every time, he comes on his boat, she recognizes it, and she just basically swim with him. And he is saying about how he discovered and why he concentrated on sharks because of all of this. But he said that now when he looks at her, he sees that she is a gentle giant. And that was brilliant for me because that was exactly the phrase I was looking for. How I see men and how it's supposed to look like. Because first of all, you've got to understand, why do I see us as giants? Because look, the thing is very simple. Because we don't feel as much. Everything is like meh to us in comparison how our women feel about the world and what's happening. We don't think as much. Everything is like we treat it lightly. We ever do everything for as a joke, and we don't kind of see so many details. The whole life that we go through, it's much easier and much more chilled out in comparison to what they see and go through, because we're like very very small. We kind of see and experience and feel like a small portion of what they experience, feel, and go through. Their life is like a roller coaster, and look at it as from like a very simple perspective of statistics. If you put in conflict or in confrontation a statistical man and statistical gal, the man will win just because of the testosterone driven body and so on. So it's like we're overpowered physically, we kind of overpowered mentally because we don't feel as much as they do. So it's like all our life is like basically having fun and laughing our butts off of everything. And in comparison, they cannot stop thinking. They go to what if and so on and so on. So it's like, from my perspective, we're like really overpowered. But if you look close enough, that's put us in interesting position, because then if you're able to understand that you're overpowered and give yourself permission to feel this way, not to abuse it, because some of us do, and that should be punished simply. But if you give yourself permission to feel this way and understand it, then you can see how much you've got to offer, to help, to serve, to be the one that she really wanted to be with. Because then, if you understand that you can be a gentle giant, then that changes the whole perspective, especially for her. Because look, that's exactly the same situation like with the shark. Do you really think the shark would have any issues with completely messing up this diver? If you watch this video, see how huge this shark is. There's no doubt that if she wanted to attack him or hurt him, no issues. Few seconds, that'll be all over. But she doesn't, and they it took time, but they built a relationship, and now it takes 20 years that they swim together, they have great time together, they have this bond and friendship. And the same thing is with us. If you see that you're overpowered, but then you can take care of her and help yours, help it between you two build this relationship of trust, it's amazing thing that will be able to build. And interestingly enough, the effect of this, something that you don't really hear men thinking and talking about, and that's why I'm kind of talking about it all the time, is that the effect or impact on her would be tremendous. Because if you see so many women are when they attack, in the relation, when they argue, when they scream, when they cry, or going through whatever they're going through, if you look close enough, in many cases, it's their way of defending themselves from being hurt. But then, if you are a gentle giant, if you're really the one who is just there to help, because you can see that that's it looks like that's how we are here. Then, if in time, as in this situation of the shark and the diver, if you build this trust, then she doesn't have to defend herself, because there's nothing to defend herself from, at least from your side. And then it changes the whole perspective of how she sees relation, how she acts in relationship, because then she can kind of let her guard down, and then she can start to live as she wanted to, feeling protected, feeling loved, feeling taken care of. And then how it impacts your daily life, it's very simple. Then if you see that every time she's coming to you with, like a jar, I had this situation many times, she comes to me to open the jar, and some of you may act this like act like, have you even tried to open this jar? This is exactly what I did. But then when you really think about it, it's like, why would she struggle with this if she know that if she'll come to you, you'll open it in 2 seconds, and then she doesn't have to struggle. And then with everything that she comes with, this or that, help me to take this, help me to raise this, help me with these groceries and this suitcases, and then she can trust that she can kind of live and experience her life, which is such a huge experience in comparison to ours. And she doesn't have to be scared, and she can basically not to be scared the payoff or the price that she has to pay for living and being as a woman, because you've got to understand from their perspective, the stupid jar that's not going to be a problem for you, it's going to be a challenge for them. And it's like the price that they pay for being this emotional creatures is that they're not going to be that stable emotionally. Many things is gonna have much bigger impact than you. So it's putting this whole thing together. You're gonna be a gentle giant who knows that is here, and he's able to help. So whatever happens, whatever she's crying about, screaming about, or being passive aggressive about, you can just say, babe, how can I help you with this? And then in time, you make her stop using those kind of defensive tactics, because she would know that whatever she has, whatever she experienced, she can come with this to you, and you're going to be there to help her, to talk to her, to listen to her, to see how you can just maybe listen. You're going to be there to hug her and kiss her and say everything's going to be fine, just by being this gentle giant. Because this is what I want you to understand, that women will become or transform to the true form that they are and they want to be, this gentle, fragile, and feminine creatures, only if they're in vicinity of true men. Because if your girl is not in this state that she wants to be, it means that she's trying to defend herself. So you're doing something wrong, or you're doing something right, but not long enough. You didn't build this trust to the enough level. So stop being a paper tiger and become this gentle giant, because then she will be able to flourish instead of defending herself all the time. So think about it and do something, because trust me, then you'll understand what does it mean to experience life who exceeds your wildest dreams. If you like this video, like it. If you don't like it. But either way, comment. And if there's anything you want me to record video about, or maybe there's something I could help you with, give me a shout, DM me. I'll be glad to help. That being said, see you tomorrow.